All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Hello, my name is Chris, and this is We Love Comics, and thank you for the understanding of the situations that have been going on. If you're not sure about that, I made a video just about that situation yesterday, so if you want to check that out, you can. But it took me over a month to finally have the time to be able to do this top uh, purchases of 2025. Got some great books. There was a bunch of others I could have added. It's just that I didn't want to go all the way to 50 and everything, so um, I just limited it to 35. So while I'm waiting for people to come in, I want to let everybody know the potential contest in this live video is in effect. And the way it works is if I get 10 or more different super chats from 10 or more different people of $2 or more while this live stream is going, I will give away to one of the people that contributed the super chats a 90% silver dime. I will mail it anywhere around the world, and I will pay for the shipping and handling. So all you have to do is do a super chat during the live video. If I get 10 different people of $2 or more, I will raffle it off to one of those contributors. For every $2 that you contribute, you will get an extra entry. So if you put $4, you get two entries and etc. So with that being said, shout out to all my Patreon members, including Brian Hood, which is my latest and most recent Patreon paid member. If you join at patreon.com/we love comics and become a paid member, you can now have early access to any of my auctions that I do. In other words, when I tell people an auction's coming, the people that are on my paid Patreon list can actually ask for a list of the books and can actually send offers for any of those books. And if I agree to that, no one else gets to see it. It never goes to the auction, and you get to not worry about missing the auction, being outbid, or getting into a bidding war and spending more than you wanted to. So no minimum amount other than the minimum to join anybody's Patreon. So again, that's patreon.com/we love comics. Majority of the money goes towards paying hospital bills and feeding them and all that other stuff for the stray cats that I take care of. So it does go to a good cause. So let's put on the video camera. And like I said, if I get 10 $2 super chats or more from 10 different people before this live auction is over, I will raffle off a 90% silver dime. So let's get the show on the road. Theodore says comics silver is going up. You always like when things go up without having the need for Viagra. So you'll notice a couple of the books are missing, probably because they're on this list. So without further ado, let's get into it. Number 35, we got Avengers number 16. Pretty decent copy, probably around roughly about a 4, between a 3 and a 4. But the colors really pop on this. This is the first appearance of the new Avengers in Avengers 16. Basically, I'm going from lowest value up into the highest values. I'm not going to get into prices or anything. You could watch other videos if you want to learn about that. Number 34. Have many copies of this book. It's a book that you can actually get fairly cheap out there in the wild. So, of course, this is Daredevil number 7. This is the first time he has the red costume. Before that, he had his yellow banana suit. Absolutely a book that you can acquire fairly cheaply. Again, lower grade, 2.5 to 3.5 range. But say it with me, low grade is always better than no grade. Joshua Perez is here. Welcome. Number 33. I have a couple of copies of this, but this is Flash number, I believe, 139. Yes, Flash 139. This is the first appearance of Professor Zoom, aka Reverse Flash. Another Silver Age, I guess minor key, you could say, but major key in the Flash world. Definitely an easily acquired book, fairly affordable in lower grades. If you haven't gotten a chance to get that book, grab it. Okay, number 32. I had one of these earlier in the beginning of the last year, sold it, and ended up getting a second, which of course this is Avengers second. So nothing special here other than the second appearance of the Avengers. This is the true book where Hulk leaves. For a while they were saying Avengers 4 and Avengers 3, but it's actually Avengers 2. And how do I know? Because I remember when I was a kid, I had this book, Not this one particularly, of course, but I actually read it, and Hulk leaves at the end. So this is officially where Hulk leaves the Avengers and is almost appears to be almost a bad guy. But again, another easily acquired, semi-affordable book if you can't afford Avengers #1. A lot of these I've gotten graded. This is one of them. Ends up being a lower grade than I was hoping for, but hey, what are you going to do? Sometimes low grade is better than no grade. It's a 1.8 Avengers #57, first appearance of the Vision. Always loved this cover. Just think it's a great looking cover you know, to look at. I remember when I was a kid, I bought one of those just because I saw the cover and I just loved it, didn't know the significance at the time. This is a book that will be getting graded. This is my third copy of this book. This, of course, is Venom #1. This is the gold variant, which is limited to about 1,000. I'm sorry, about 11,000 copies of this was ever printed. This has 9.8 potential. I had another one that came back a 9.8, so it'd be nice to get two of them. All right, let me make sure I got all the books. All right, number 29. I probably already messed up the numbering already. And if I did, you can let me know. Another book I got slabbed, bought raw, lower grade, but still iconic cover for a 1.8. The cover looks really good. It's not ripped to shreds. I mean, you see a little piece missing at the top, but still, I'll take it for the prices I paid for these books. This, of course, is Batman #251. This is the first real modern version of Joker, and of course, a very iconic cover. Absolutely a book you would want to eventually add to your collection. Number 28. I had several copies of this book. This price has gone down for this book, which makes it easier to acquire. That is Captain America #117, first appearance of the Falcon. Nice little mid-grade book, 5.5. Again, colors pop really nice. Definitely an affordable book to get. Next up, we've got a book I'm going to be getting graded. This, of course, is Flash #123. This is the first mention of Earth 2. Lower grade book, probably 1.8 to 2.5. And it's also the first Golden Age Flash and Silver Age Flash crossover. Minor Flash key, but definitely one to get. Can get pretty expensive, but look out for them. Another book I'll be getting graded. I bought this with a bundle. Daredevil #2. This is absolutely a good book to get, especially if you cannot afford issue #1. This is Daredevil's second appearance and also Electro's second appearance. So if you can't afford either one's first appearance, either Daredevil 1 or Amazing Spider-Man #9, next best book to get. Lower grade book, but I got it under $100, so for me, absolutely worth it. So book I bought raw. Bought it for about what the value is. I've always wanted this book. Amazing Spider-Man #10, first appearance of the Enforcers, which is not a major big deal. I just think the first, basically almost the first 20 books of Amazing Spider-Man, you can't go wrong. But this one was always too expensive for a book that doesn't really have any significance. I mean, yeah, it's the first appearance of the Enforcers, but nobody cares about them, and I doubt they'll be in a movie anytime soon. So fairly mid-grade, almost exactly mid-grade, but I finally found one at a decent price. So I picked it up raw, took the chance to get it graded. Same with this book. This just came back recently. This is Wonder Woman issue #22. Nothing special about this book as far as significance, but it's an early Wonder Woman graded at a 3.0 complete. Absolutely, I'm very happy with owning any Golden Age books. There's just something about them. If you don't own one, you got to at least get one, and you'll see why they're so special. All right, I think I know why I messed up because this marker is running out of ink, so I can't tell which ones I crossed out. All right, next up, probably paid about current price on this book. Remains to be seen. Tomb of Dracula #10, first appearance of Blade. probably between a 3 and a 4.0. This book is still fairly expensive, even though who knows if Blade's going to have an MCU movie? They were supposed to be. They had an actor and everything, but it shows until something's actually out there, nothing is guaranteed. So that one's pretty much still in limbo. This is another one I've been buying for years. I have several copies of this. This is absolutely a must-have in anybody's collection. Fantastic Four, number 49. That is the first full appearance of Galactus, second appearance of Silver Surfer, first appearance of both of them on the cover, and arguably the better of the two covers between this and Fantastic Four number 48. You can share your opinion on that, which cover you think is better. Art is always subjective, so no wrong answers. Next up, same thing with this book. You can get this book fairly cheap these days. Fantastic Four, number 52, first appearance of the Black Panther. Looks like they're going to be recasting the Black Panther to what the fans really want. So let's see what happens with that. But, I mean, you can't go wrong with the first appearance of Black Panther. Prices have gone down. That's the time to buy. And this is going out. All right, next one. This one, you'll say, why is New Mutants 98? Well, it's not only a newsstand, it's a Mark Jewelers, and I can't find the other one. I just didn't want to go searching through all my boxes, but this one has a miscut in the Mark Jewelers. In other words, and I have pictures of it, and I showed it in one of my videos, so you can always check it out. But for some reason, when they were about to staple it, the Mark Jewelers variant was put on a slant and it got cut wrong and stapled into the book. So that is a one-of-a-kind piece. It was also graded a 9.4. That's why I'm showing this one instead of that one, because I just can't find it and I don't really want to search for hours for one book. But to have a one-of-a-kind book, that makes it very, very rare, especially when you're talking high-grade Mark Jewelers. Next up, I got this one for a steal. I had a couple of different books. It was a lower grade than I thought, but I'm still happy with it. 2.5 for X-Men number 3, first appearance of the Blob. Looks like somebody wrote a bunch of Bible passages or something on it, but I paid under $40 for this book. So I can't complain at all. It is complete, not restored, no coupons missing, no nothing. Next up, I love Golden Age books. This one doesn't have any significance, but it is an early Batman issue number 26 at a 3.0. Bought it raw. Again, for a book from the 40s, yeah, 1945, presents pretty well. Number 15, never knew about this book until I saw it and had to take advantage of buying it. This is Sad Sack comic number 1 at a 3.0. Again, I bought it raw, but this is the first appearance of Little Dot. So if you're Gen X or older like me, you are probably familiar with Little Dot. Probably even older, like the Boomer generation would have grown up with Little Dot. But I was the generation where at least I knew who Little Dot was. It was basically in the Sunday funnies in the newspapers, primarily is where she originated from. But this is her first appearance. Sometimes it's good to look on eBay to find stuff you didn't know existed. All right, next up, I've had several copies of this book, picked up another one, got a pretty decent price for this, only a 3.0, but still, Amazing Spider-Man number 7. It is the second appearance of the Vulture, so especially if you can't afford the first appearance, that's not a crack in the case, that's just, this got ripped, the bag, I'll replace that. But especially if you can't afford Amazing Spider-Man number 2, because it's definitely not a cheap book, next best thing. Next one, I currently have, I sent it out to get graded, but it is House of Secrets 92, first appearance of the Swamp Thing, signed by Len Wein. Looking forward to seeing what grade that comes back as. But that one is out getting graded. Next up, another one I got for a great price, and I'll tell the price. I paid $111 for this. Page 2 is partially torn out. It does affect the story, but of X-Men number 4. First appearance of the Evil Mutants, Scarlet Witch, and Quicksilver. Very early Magneto appearance. 1.8, but for the price I paid for this, that's still a bargain. If you can find this book even in low grade, get it, and then get it. Let me see what we got. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 books left. All right, so let's start from there and let me get another pen since this thing dried out. That's what she said. So, number 13, another comic I did not know existed until I saw it on eBay. This is Tip Top Comics. This is issue number 173. This is the first appearance of Peanuts in comic book form. This came out in 1952. So you don't have any of the characters by name, but you could see what Snoopy looked like before he became the iconic Joe Cool figure uh, that we know and love about Snoopy when he was just a regular dog. And Charlie Brown um, did not have his iconic yellow shirt with the zigzag markings. But this is the first appearance ever of Peanuts, the Peanut Gang, in a one-page little section in comic book form. So absolutely a book I will be getting graded, and great book to have, especially if you never knew it existed. Number 12, this one is another book I'm going to be getting graded. Looks like between a 6 and a 7. I've had a couple of copies, but I've sold them. I think I have one other, I'm not sure. Aquaman number 1. Paid under $200 for this book. Very happy with that. And again, this is in really high grade. So this book is definitely going to be getting graded soon. I'm going to definitely be looking forward to seeing what grade that comes back as. All right. Number 11, we've got a book I got fairly near the end of the year. I have another copy of this book, but I got this one for cheaper, and it might be about the same grade. I guess we'll find out when I get it graded. This, of course, is The Flash, issue number 105. This is Barry Allen's first appearance in his own title. Before this was the original Flash that went to issue 104. And then, of course, you had Showcase number 4. And then eventually he became so popular, Barry Allen, that they gave him um, his own comic. So it starts at Flash issue 105. First appearance of the Mirror Master, but this is significant because this is basically Flash number 1. So if you couldn't afford the original Flash in the Golden Age, next best thing. So probably about a 2.0 to 3.0. We'll see when I get it graded what the grade comes back as. Okay, next up, say it with me, ladies and gentlemen. Low grade is better than no grade. This is number 10. I had several copies of this. I was buying them back in the days when you could get them for under $300 back in 2017, 2018. I was telling people to buy this years ago. But anytime I see one of a giant size X-Men number 1, no, second full appearance of Wolverine, first appearance of Colossus, Storm, Nightcrawler, and Thunderbird. These are the characters that basically the reason why X-Men still existed, because the original X-Men was doing so poorly that for months they were doing reprints. And Chris Claremont came along, reinvigorated the X-Men, and they've been on top pretty much ever since. Low grade, probably a 1.5 to 2.0. Even in that grade, you're still talking $600-700 book. So grab it if you can get it. All right, number 9 is another book I just sent out to get graded, so it's not here for me to show, but it is Amazing Spider-Man number 129, first appearance of the Jackal and the Punisher. But here's the situation. That book was a 5.0, CGC 5.0. It's a Mark Julas variant, but here's the best part, and I showed it recently, so if you want to see the last 4 books that I was sending to PGX, that book and the House of Secrets 92 are in it, so if you want to see them, you can. But that book, and I showed it, on the front cover had 7 to 10 non-color breaking wrinkles all along the cover, which absolutely will be fixed with a pressing and dry cleaning. And this is why I tell people sometimes it pays to buy raw books, but it also pays sometimes to buy already graded books because you never know, especially when you're talking more expensive books. There are people who will send in a book to get graded and maybe are not familiar with pressings or maybe don't have the finances to do it. And you could turn around, crack a book open and bump the grade. I mean, I really think this is going to go anywhere between, it's a 5.0 now, but I think it's going to go minimum 5.5 guaranteed. But I think it could get as high as a 7 because of how many non-color break increases are in it. That book was a steal for me. Mark Jeweler variants, if you don't know about them, look them up. Absolutely worth getting. All right. So, number 8. I think the last ones are all graded. Ben Compton's in the house, says hello. This book is not going to be lasting long. This is actually going to be going in a trade. I won't be telling you what it is because it should be arriving tomorrow. What time, we don't know. But I've only had this for about maybe a month, month and a half. Sad to see it go, but to get something, you got to give something. But this is Detective Comics number 64. This is 3.0. This is the first appearance of the Boy Commandos. And for a 3.0, this book looks gorgeous. This is a fairly rare book. I mean, you're talking under 100 copies on the CGC website and a lot less in a blue label. So this one will be going in a trade. Like I said, I hate to see it go, but when you see the book I'll be getting that I traded for it, you'll understand why. Sometimes you gotta trade something that you don't want to get rid of to get something that somebody else may have not wanted to have gotten rid of. So I'm still gonna be happy overall that I had it. If I ever get it again, who knows? 1, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we're on the right page. Number 7. It's another book, low grade, don't care. Never thought I would own this book. Now I do. It's got bug shoes and everything, but it's a blue label complete. Batman number 3. So that's the biggest damage, and that's why it's got a blue label at a 0.5. But this is the first appearance. Well, first appearance of the Puppet Master, but that's different from Fantastic Four number 8, obviously. But this is the Catwoman's appearance in costume. So the first time Catwoman has her first costume is in Batman number 3. Plus, it's Batman number 3, earliest book I've ever owned of Batman. Before this was Batman number 5, but I sold that 3 or 4 years ago. So before this, what would be my earliest? Maybe issue 13 before this. So I'm very happy with Batman number 3. So I'm going to put this back where it belongs to be displayed. Number 6, same thing with this one. 0.5 grade. Never thought I would acquire this book. Happened to find it at the right time. Thank goodness for PayPal credit. Still complete blue label. Superman number 14. Classic cover of Superman. No other significance in this book. It does have an ad for Sensation Comics number 1, which is the first cover appearance of Wonder Woman, second appearance overall. But still, in a 0.5, I'll take that all day, every day. All right, top 5. This one was a steal. I actually could not believe, because this was an auction, I believe. I couldn't believe I got this book. It's a modern, well, it's a upper age book, but for the price I paid for it and what you got, to me, just blows my mind. This is Secret Wars number 8. It's a 9.8 with white pages by CBCS. It is a newsstand variant. Not only is it signed by Michael Zeck, but an original, nice-looking, detailed Mike Zeck sketch. And it was witnessed. So that guarantees that that is authentic. Go look up what Secret Wars number 8 in a 9.8, just the newsstand alone goes for. This one's signed and has an original sketch from Mike Zeck. That, to me, it may be trade bait in the future. I'd hate to get rid of it, but again, you got to trade something good to get something good. Number 4. I have one copy of this book. but it's a coverless copy. I have now a complete copy, even though it is a .5, but it is a blue label. Amazing Spider-Man #1. Origin of Spider-Man Retold. First crossover with the Fantastic Four. First James Jonah Jason, or Jonah Jameson. Also first Chameleon. J. Jonah Jason. Say that 10 times fast. So there is a major first appearance in here. Origin of Spider-Man Retold, his first issue. The reason you see this part is missing is back in the days when unsold comics in comic stores, if you wanted to get credit for them, you had to tear off. Originally, it used to be you had to tear off the whole complete cover. Then they got to the point you just had to you take 1/3 of the top, and then it just changed from there. That's why that part's missing, but still, it's a complete book. .5, low grade, better than no grade. I'll proudly display that here for people to see. All right, my top 3 books. If it wasn't for PayPal credit, I wouldn't have been able to get any of these books. I may not be able to afford issue #1, but hey, you never know. Maybe someday I can do it with a trade. Well, this is the next best thing. This is Sensation Comics #2. This is the 3rd appearance of Wonder Woman, her 2nd cover appearance, because like I said earlier, Sensation Comics #1 is her 1st cover appearance and 2nd appearance overall. Low grade, but complete blue label. This book, even in a coverless copy, you're talking around $1,000. So this is absolutely a very desirable book. This is back when she had a skirt instead of like basically like a bathing suit. So absolutely a great cover um, from 1942, cream to off-white pages, which is not bad for a book from 1942. Absolutely love that book, and I'm holding on to that one for a long time. Same with these last 2. #2, this one, I love the fact the seller, and this is why I recommend to people all the time, make sure you know what you're talking about. Make sure you know the products that you're selling, because if you don't, somebody else like me and others will definitely snatch up something that you assumed was a certain way because you didn't take the time to learn. And I can understand 20 years ago you might not have had a library nearby, but nowadays when you can Google or AI anything right now, there's no excuses. So this is showcase #4. First appearance of Barry Allen. This is what started the Silver Age. Iconic cover. Now, why is it a .5? This is a facsimile front cover. But here's the thing. The seller listed this as coverless. But that is the original back cover. So remember what I said earlier about Amazing Spider-Man #1, how they ripped off the top? This most likely was one of the return books for credit back in those days where you had to rip off the whole front cover. But the original cover, and look how nice that black back cover is. So this is not coverless. It's missing the front cover. So when people looked at that auction and saw the word coverless, they didn't bother to check it. But I did. And I noticed the original is still completely attached. It's not like it's like split and they just put it in here. It's completely attached. It's just missing the front cover. So that would give it a .5. If this was completely coverless, which means no front and back cover, because the cover is the whole thing, not just the front, you would get either a .3 grade or you get an NG. N as in nickel, G as in George, as in no grade. But because this has the back cover, this is not coverless. And I'm okay with a facsimile cover to make it look nice. But with a .5, how do you go wrong with that? Last but not least, if you guys been watching my videos, you should know what my #1 comic is. Absolutely got this for a steal. So my #1 book of 2025 was my Tales of Suspense #39. First appearance of Iron Man. Let me show you a couple of things. This has the double quotes If you'll notice, go look on eBay right now, and you'll see probably 99 out of 100 copies, if there are that many out there, you'll see either one of the quotes or none because it was miscut. Now, this also has, if you look on the bottom, usually that blue is missing because, again, it was miscut this way. Most of the books either have no blue and no quotes, or there might be books that have one or the other. It is actually very rare to have a perfectly cut Tales of Suspense 39 where you have double quotes showing and the blue underneath the table showing. Very few have one or the other, and most don't have either. So this is a perfectly cut book. Now, here's the best part. When I bought this, it was graded a 3.5 by CGC. When I got it and looked at it, the entire front cover was a wrinkled mess, non-color breaking. So I knew this book would be improved. I actually thought it would be higher than what it came back as, but it went from a 3.5 to a 5.0 without having to spend an extra dime. And I paid, and I'll give the price for this one. I paid $5,350 for the first appearance of Iron Man. Now you'll see some of the colors have faded, like the red. But the beautiful thing is, so you can see also there, that's supposed to be deep red too. Somebody, whether it was at a comic book store or somebody's home, somebody had this on their wall exposed to sunlight. Now, blues do not fade in sunlight. I actually have a video about that where I took a comic book and left it outside for the entire summer so you could see what it looks like before and after sun is exposed to your books. Now, I don't know if it was graded at the time or not, which is irrelevant, but the beautiful thing about this cover, it's mostly grays, whites, and blues with red accent here and red accent here. So the only colors that faded was the red colors. Everything else stayed intact. So to me, this was a no-brainer. So that is my story, and I'm sticking to it. We did not get any super chats, so there will not be a raffle for the 90% silver dime today. But every single video that I do live, if there are 10 or more people that do 10 different super chats of $2 or more during the live chat, during the live video, I will raffle off to one of the contributors a silver dime that is 90% silver, and I will ship it anywhere around the world. So Peter Bishop is also here. So Peter Bishop, Ben Compton, and Joshua Perez. Let me see if there was anybody else. Theodore, all of you are today's surprise subscriber shout outs. Once this video uploads, let me know in the comment section what you thought about the books. If you want to thumb it up or thumb it down, I will leave it up to you. And if you want to subscribe or unsubscribe, again, that is dealer's choice. So I should be doing a video tomorrow. I'm not sure because the trade book is supposed to be arriving tomorrow, but they said it could be anywhere up until 9 p.m. So we'll see what happens. If it's early enough, I'll do it on Saturday. If it's late, it'll be Sunday. And if it doesn't arrive Saturday, because they said there might be possibly delays due to the weather up north, it'll be most likely Monday. So stay tuned. It'll be one of those days. So let me know what you think about the AI art. Do you want to critique it positively or negatively? Leave it up to you. Leave it in the comment section. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And I'll see you next video. So thanks, everybody. And don't forget, it's not you. It is not I. It is We Love Comics. Have a great day, everybody. I'll see you next video.